pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is officially called to order. Roll call, please.
Eves. Present. Lilly.
Present.
Dunlap. Present. Blakey.
Present.
Clark. Marshall.
Present.
Mayor Purse.
Is there anyone here tonight that is interested in addressing the board? Mr. Jones?
Yeah, hi. Thursday, not Thursday. In September, I remember coming to the board for my first meeting for a long time. It was regarding a drainage issue, and I had you come here on the floor, and you told me quietly on the meeting, Mr. Jones, I promise you I will take care of it. Since that time, I filed 2 FOIA attempts to get information that's supposed to be on the record. You call it a file for my property, but it's on the record. And I've noticed since that time that the file regarding my house is only partially there. That's what I was given, and I was told by Karen that that's all I got. As far as I'm concerned, we're done. Well, it's not what Karen figures is concerned. She was willing to give me a few scraps of paper the time I filed it. However, when I asked her to sign those documents, she said, well, then it's going to take 5 days for me to give it to you. I understand the process is probably the village attorney, even though he was new, probably he probably had my plats and the grading and all of that. That's an assumption that I got out of the Environmental Protection Agency when we filed our ES4 in 14, 15, 16, and 17. They currently are trying to renew the permit for 21. The problem that I have with this is that letter that I have from Robinson Engineering says very simply, he does in fact have it, because they don't have it. And that's the paper they filed with the state of Illinois, the EPA, which then handles it over to the federal government. What I'm trying to say to you is that in the process of really fixing my problem, I did not invite the village to come in and change the direction of the drainage water flow from my property. And the problem that bothers me with that is not that it worked, because it didn't. The last time we got all the rain, I had water past where I showed Ray Gamble where the problem was at. That was not fixing my problem. It rained again after that time, and it was a lesser amount. And I still had water from that wall all the way to that wall, halfway across my yard. I have a picture of I'm going to call it a fire hose. You ran 11 inches under the ground from my property. And it really didn't help my problem, because the second we got a slight rain, it either clogged up or it wasn't running according to the way I know my plat says it's supposed to go. The reason I'm concerned is because Ray Gamble, a building superintendent, was the one that pointed out to me as he walked 55 feet from my property, and he said, oh, here's the drain right here. I said, no, it's not a matter of, oh, here it is. I said, it's been there for years. My neighbor raised his property 18 inches and parked his pontoon right over the drainage area. Not supposed to have that. Our own ordinances tell us that. I can give those to you if you like. But you ignored the ordinances that we have. You ignored the ES4 that shows what the drainage is supposed to be on my property. And you very simply did what you wanted. When I left, I had somewhere to be the day they were back there installing a pipe in my backyard. they ran it opposite of what I told them. And then like thieves in the night, after they were done, they came a couple of days later and they put sod that was more dead than alive in that drainage area. And it was only 18 inches wide. The problem is, I was under the impression they were going to raise the property. Ray Gamble said, oh, I can see. It says that we're supposed to go from the north corner of your back property to the south corner, and it's supposed to drain at that drain, not 2 houses away. We haven't solved my problem, and I'm still here. And as to your suggestion that I contact my attorney to let her do it, I'm going to tell you who my attorneys are going to be. They're being motivated as we sit here tonight. I filed a complaint with the state EPA. I've spoken to the people that are not there because they're only answering machines in Elgin and located in Des Plaines. I've had the director and one of the managers of the EPA in Central Illinois go over there. And you know what their suggestion was to me? Would you like the phone number for the gentleman I spoke to? He said you should just sue your village because they're not supposed to be going across the property and changing the direction like that. His words were very simply, that's not what we have on our files. And at this point right now, that's the quickest, most direct way for you to do it. Mayor, I wasn't here trying to pick a fight, but I was told to hire my own attorneys. So what I did is I took our village clerk's letter that she got to me about the FOI, and she said, one, Ray Gamble does have the plat for my property. He does have the property that I'm looking for to show drainage. Everything I put in that file was done in the direction that a lawyer would have followed. I filed these things before. I shut the state OSHA program down in Indiana. They paid me every dime they owed me for what happened. And they avoided a lot of theater problems than just owing me a kidney. But when I find that he has my file, or the village attorney sitting next to you, according to Mrs. Weenfoot has it, okay, or that very simply it's misplaced. What I don't understand is when you file for your ES4 for this year, are you going to show the drain that's 55 feet away from my property, that my property is supposed to be running to theirs? And how are you going to explain that we're allowing a motorized vehicle to sit in a drainage area and flood into our drainage sewer for stormwater? The state knows about it. The village knows about it because you've got the plat. Did you not tell me that the water should be drained to the south of my property?
Mr. Jones, as usual, I appreciate you attending our meetings. We've had this conversation multiple times.
No, we haven't had this conversation.
Mr. Jones, are you going to let me talk? I need you to let me talk.
I had to file
Mr. Jones?
The FOA.
Mr. Jones.
And you did not
Mr.
respond.
Jones, first of all, the FOIA officer, Karen Wingfield Bond, did respond to your FOIA. She gave you what was in the file. You were not happy about that. I understand it. We can only give you what we have. As it pertains to the neighbor has been cited and we're addressing that issue. We are not ignoring our ordinances. We are abiding by our ordinances. And we have addressed this problem. We've had this conversation multiple times. I understand you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, you have threatened to hire an attorney and sue me and the village on multiple occasions. My response to that is Attorney Dan Boyle is sitting right here. When we receive the notice, we'll respond accordingly. Outside of that, I'm done having this conversation with you, but I do thank you for your time. Is there anyone else that is
I do want
interested?
to clear it up. Not be
Mr. Jones,
ignored.
we are
You
done.
can bang your hammer if you
Mr.
want.
Jones,
You can have your police
you will be
escort me
escorted out of this
but
meeting.
the thing you're
Mr.
going to be
Jones, you
looking
will
at
not
that is
disrupt
violating
this
your
meeting.
own Open Meetings Act.
Mr. Jones, you will not disrupt this meeting. You know I am not interested in disrespecting you, but I will not allow you
You are
to disrespect
disrespecting me
this
because you
board
went
or this
and you
meeting.
covered that south drain up.
I am
And
done.
that means the water has nowhere to go but by my property.
Come on, Mr. Jones. Come on, let's go. It's time to go.
If you are interested in sitting for the rest of the meeting, you are welcome to, but we will not
And
go
why
back
would
and
I
forth.
stay here when you're not being, as you call it,
Mr. Jones, hey,
transparent?
Mr. Jones, it's time to go.
It's time to go.
You had your words. Thank
Next
you.
time I come here, I might be doing something other than that with the federal government.
Is that a threat, Mr. Jones?
No, that's a fact.
Is that a threat? Because
Come on.
I'm
You got
taking
it.
that as a threat on record.
Ma'am, if I get the opportunity to
Please
place
escort
you
Mr.
under
Jones
arrest
out
or
of
sue
this
you,
room.
I will do it.
Come on, Mr. Jones. Come on.
I'll go, ma'am.
Mr. Jones, it's time to go.
Come on. It's
Come
time to go.
on. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? I apologize to this audience. Is there anyone else who is interested in addressing the board tonight? If not, we'll move on to the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes dated October 26, 2021? Moved by Marshall. Is it supported? Supported. Moved by Marshall, supported by Blakey. Roll call, please.
Eads. Yes. Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. We'll move on to our standing committee reports, starting with Public Works.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a very brief report on Public Works. This emanated from our town hall meeting in regards to soliciting for members for the Public Works Committee. And I've had at least 3 responses from community residents, and I look forward to getting their background information and sitting with you to vet them for the process. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Blakey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have just a few things. Economic Development, we want to congratulate the owners, Sybil Holloway and Daryl Petty. They have their grand opening of the L Lake Lounge Restaurant. The ribbon cutting is going to be tomorrow, November 10th at 5 p.m. Everyone, the public is invited. The press is also invited. They're going to be opening their doors for the restaurant on November 14th. There's a press release that went out, and I'll read that. It says, join the village of Linwood for a ribbon cutting ceremony for the latest restaurant opening called L Lake Lounge Restaurant, located on the lakefront behind Village Hall at 21490 East Lincoln Highway, Linwood, Illinois, 60411. L Lake Lounge Restaurant is the latest venture for Sybil Holloway, the restaurant group's president and restaurant designer, Daryl Petty. They are known for their upscale design and decor featured in previous restaurants, Crocodile Lounge, Mercury Restaurant, Blue 47, and Fleetwood Restaurant. L Lake Lounge brings us a speakeasy design and feel with seating up to 100 people. They also will feature private dining space upstairs. When the weather permits, they will host dining along the lakefront with the capacity up to 200 people on the patio. The menu will feature an eclectic cuisine with heavy Italian influence, swanky hors d'oeuvres, and craft cocktails. L Lake Lounge will officially open Sunday, November 14th for their Sunday brunch from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Each Sunday will feature a DJ or live entertainment. The public and media are invited to attend the ribbon cutting ceremony at 21490 East Lincoln Highway, located behind Village Hall in the old Senior Youth Center. As many of you residents that are able to attend, I would encourage you to attend. The place is just absolutely beautiful. We've had opportunity to see it and very pleased with what they brought to the village of Linwood. Further in economic development, the Dollar General is officially under construction, and plans for Dunkin' Donuts and the sweet potato patch are moving forward as planned. That's it, Madam Mayor, for economic development. Can I move on to community affairs?
Can I just add two things to
Yes.
your report? Dollar General actually laid the foundation on Friday, and the walls should be going up as early as tomorrow. So they are making significant progress there. Also, there is a new business that is coming to the village of Linwood, Dutch Valley Tree Farm, which is a nursery located at 1500 East Joe Moore Road. So I look forward to you reaching out and scheduling a ribbon cutting as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Community affairs, we want to thank Faraz Farouk for hosting members of the village board at the annual Chicago Muslim Medical Alliance family event. This is an event that happened last Saturday. Several of our elected officials as well as Mayor Curry were there for this particular event, and it was really mind-blowing, at least for me, it was really mind-blowing to hear the level of community engagement, the moral courage, as well as the commitment to community engagement and community development that this organization possesses. And Faraz is the gentleman that owns the mobile station at the corner of Glenwood Dyer Road in Torrance, and he's done a considerable amount of work with the village in terms of investing in the village and in certain parts of the programs that we've been providing thus far. So a warm welcome to and warm thank you to Faraz. The second thing that I have is there's a pre-order for village ornaments. If you haven't already ordered your village ornament, you can do that at the Village Hall. These will be probably in around Thanksgiving. You can place your order at the Village Hall desk. We encourage as many of you as possible to do this so that you can hang this on your tree. And then our first fall decorating competition is underway. It started on November the 1st. If you are interested, please email me and register. There are flyers here for you to take with you to give to your neighbors and to anyone in your household that is interested. There's going to be a first, second, and third prize for those individuals that win. And that will be followed by our Linwood Lights Festival. That's going to happen during the month of December, where blocks at a time will be able to create and organize themselves so that they can light up their blocks. And there also be a prize, first, second, and third prize for the Linwood Lights Festival. So we're looking forward to that. Lastly, on November 17th is going to be our next community affairs meeting. We right now have reserved the library as well as Sandridge School. If we get more than 30 people, we'll be at Sandridge School. If we get less than 30, we'll be at the library. But this is an important meeting because this meeting is the meeting where we're going to provide an information session for the quality of life planning that we're going to do in the village. You'll be able to ask any questions, and you'll be able to hear what the process is, what the cost is, and what the time frame is for this particular project. So this is a very important meeting, and we'll be posting where this meeting is going to be on our website. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor, for community affairs.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Dunlap.
I'm just updating, the dog park's coming along. We have decided on a name. It's going to be called Luna Land, to honor our new canine dog that just joined our family. The benches and the other garbage cans and all that will probably be delivered toward the end of the month and then be installed. Okay? Our Veterans Park, we are meeting Thursday at noon to just kind of get the lay of the land where everything's going to be. We have the flagpoles, some plaques picked out. There'll be benches later on in the spring. The benches will be able, you'll be able to get engraved plaques to put on the benches for your loved one. There'll be fire pit that will be lit by propane when there's an occasion there. Obviously, we can't have it on all the time because of the park, but things are coming along, so I hope to see you Thursday maybe at noon, and we'll get an idea where it's going to be laid out and how it's going to be done. And that's ending my report.
I am looking forward to the groundbreaking on
Yes,
Thursday,
great.
on Veterans Day.
Yes, on Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Planning and zoning.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I only have one item to really review, and that's a future application for sweet potato patch, which will be locating their facility at the southeast corner of Torrance and Glenwood Dyer Road. This will encompass their new corporate office and distribution center with a food market and promenade in a separate building, and they're slated to open the first quarter of 2022, so we look forward to that. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. There are no ordinances and resolutions to be approved. And in the absence of Trustee Clark, we will move on from the health and wellness report. Finance, Trustee Eads.
Madam Mayor, motion to table action to establish probable amount of tax levy for fiscal year May 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2022.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Eads, supported by Blakey. Roll call, please.
Eads.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I also have a motion to table bill payment memo 1432.
There's a motion. Is it supported? Motion by Eads, supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eads.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you.
I also would like to share some information. I am excited about the partnership. First National Bank of Illinois' Linwood branch has partnered with the Finance Committee to help host the financial literacy programs for our students grades 9 through 12. They will come in and offer their support and any type of supplies and things that we need. Moving forward, they will also host literacy programs for all residents of all ages in the village of Linwood, starting the year of 2022. I also would like to share with the community that Bishop Walter J. Harris Sr., pastor, is hosting a Help for the Holidays. It is a Thanksgiving food basket giveaway for families in need. It is this Saturday, November 13th, starting at 1 p.m. In conjunction with that, the Daughters of Destiny Enterprises and Company, along with Apostle Dr. Bridget C. Outlaw, is also hosting the Great Giveaway. It is at the same location, which is 515 East 147th Street in Harvey, Illinois, Unity Fellowship Church, on Saturday, November 13th, from 1 to 4 p.m. as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Trustee Marshall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of quick items. I'd like to congratulate our 3 commissioners, Ms. Chandra Perry, Charles Johnson, and Ms. Marilyn Mason. They completed their Fire Police Commission seminar this past weekend. I believe they had a good time out there. And to my understanding, they had about 4 modules that they studied on. Now, the entry level and duties of the Board and Fire Police Commission, as well as some discipline and hearing type of duties, and also the entry and promotion of police commissioners and fire commissioners. And I believe that gives them a certain certification. So congratulations to you guys for attending that. And the only other thing I'd like to just take a moment to, again, congratulate our police force. Many of you may know or may not know, the last meeting we had, it wasn't interrupted, but we found out shortly after that we had a fugitive that had threatened the village here. And we took quick action, and within 48 hours, that person was apprehended in Cal City. And so a special thanks to Chief for keeping us up to date what was going on, and then our special task force along with Park Force and the FBI got involved as well and got the gentleman what he wanted. So just want to say a special thanks to the police force. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Speaking of police, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Mayor. Our remaining flock license plate reader cameras have been installed and will be up and running this week. This now gives Linwood Police access to 285 cameras. The reason for this is agencies that have flock cameras in their own town may also share them with other agencies, which include Linwood. Just from the 3 installed cameras so far, we have recorded over 144,070 vehicles since 10/31 of 21. Everyone should know this is a huge investigative tool that will assist our department in solving so many more crimes. I do want to report that the 2 cameras that will be permanently installed on Glenwood, Lansing, and Burnham and Torrance Avenues will be installed temporarily at other locations until we receive the permits from the Department of Transportation for those 2 locations. Thank you again to the mayor and the board for making this a priority. Sometime during the first week in November, unknown offenders broke into a number of storage units at Cube Smart Storage Facility located on Stony Island. Detectives are working with Cube Smart to obtain surveillance video of these units. On Friday, November 5th at 1:29 a.m., a 49-year-old Linwood resident was struck and killed on Lincoln Highway while walking home. Please keep their family in your prayers. At the last board meeting, I reported on a shooting that occurred on 10/20/21 at 20131 Oak Lane. Linwood detectives worked with Park Forest, merging the 2 cases together, contacted State's Attorney's Office for review. An arrest warrant was issued on 10/22/21 for the arrest of the offender for 7 counts of attempt murder. 2 counts in Linwood, 5 counts at Park Forest. During that board meeting, the police department received numerous phone calls from this offender telling our dispatchers he was on his way to the police department to shoot up the police. The offender has a long violent criminal history and had absolutely nothing to lose by doing this. He knew he was wanted, and if he was convicted of these 7 counts, it would be a life sentence. After the board meeting, I decided to immediately clear the meeting and make sure everyone was safely in their vehicles and on their way home. At that time, I did not want to spend time explaining the situation to the residents. My priority was to get everyone out safely out of the building, and therefore I'm explaining this now. There were officers in the parking lot, hallway, and in this meeting, and all were aware of the situation, and I was confident we could get everyone out safely. Thankfully, the offender did not come to Linwood, and on 10/28/21, the Linwood Police Department detectives, Park Forest detectives, and the FBI Violent Offender Fugitive Team located this offender in Calumet City, took him into custody without incident. 2 guns were recovered, and one of those guns was recovered in the closet where he was hiding. The offender is now in Cook County Jail where he awaits trial. The Linwood Police Department will be conducting active shooter training at Sandridge School after hours on November 18th and the 30th. We want to make sure our officers are well prepared and trained in the event there is an active shooter at this school. We will be sending our last 2 police candidate applicants for their polygraph, medical, and psychological exams this week and next week. Our crime stats from October 26th through November 8th, there were 4 burglaries, 83 premise checks, 14 ordinance violations, 27 suspicious incidents, 6 domestics, 7 disturbances, 64 traffic stops, 38 parking enforcement, 24 ambulance assist, 18 checked well-being, and in those 2 weeks we recovered 3 guns off the street. The community policing report. Our community policing director is currently attending training for installing child safety equipment. This event will be held in the spring. Sergeant Weinbrecht has completed a semester at TF South teaching the traffic safety program, and last week began teaching the program at Balloon Trail High School. The block club meeting for Terrace and Crescent Avenue went well. The residents appreciated this new program. Next up is Haven Estates on November 17th. We would like to thank Lencioni's Restaurant and B&F Foundation, both Linwood businesses, for donating 50 turkeys for the Linwood Food Drive. I also want to thank Faraz from Linwood Mobile for finding us a place to store these 50 turkeys because they arrived 3 weeks early and we were desperate to find a place to store them, and as usual, Faraz came through. We want to thank Jewel and Dyer for donating the corn, green beans, stuffing, cranberry sauce, cornbread, boxes, everything that we need to feed the entire list of families that we have. The pickup for the food drive will be November 19th from 12 to 4 at the Linwood Firehouse, and all families have been notified and will be reminded a few days before. We have received monetary donations in the amount of $1,400 for Linwood's toy drive from Ray and Wally's, United Liquors, Katie's Cafe. Anyone willing to donate to Linwood's toy drive, please contact the police or fire department. And a reminder that the bowling with badges is November 20th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Linwood Bowling Alley. All spots are filled. That is the end of my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Fire Department Chief Newton.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Alrighty, so for the weeks of October 24th through November 6th, we had a total of 68 calls. One that was vehicle fire. We had 4 motor vehicle accidents, which included the one that Chief Dempsey just mentioned. 6 auto mutual aid requests. One that was for a structure fire. There were 5 who were canceled while en route. Total of 43 medical calls, 4 hazardous materials calls, 1 electrical problem, 1 smoke scare, 2 carbon monoxide calls, 3 to just assist citizens with various problems like water leaking, and 3 fire alarms / smoke alarm calls. We're continuing our efforts to improve services and staffing. Our end goal is 24/7 staffing at the station. I'm pleased to announce that January 1st of 2022 that we're going to be implementing phase 1, which will be extending our weekend shifts to a little bit further, changing them from 8-hour shifts to 12-hour shifts, and we'll no longer be paying based as PLC stipends. They'll actually be W-2 part-time employees of the village. This will increase the manned station hours from a total of 82 hours, which it is currently, to 102 hours. That will leave 66 hours for us to go, which are still covered by the paid-on-call members, but we'll be looking to staff station for those 66 hours in the future. We are actively recruiting new firemen. So if you know anybody that is willing, wanting to join the fire service, we will put you through the Fire Academy. We'll put you through EMT school. Right now, we actually have a total of 4 candidates that are awaiting their background checks. And once those background checks come through, we're looking next December to get them approved to join the department by the board. Just a reminder that the residential smoke detector program is still ongoing. So if you have a house that's older than 30 years, you want to have your smoke detectors checked out, just call the fire station during regular business hours, and we'll set up an appointment with you to figure out the best time to come out and do that inspection. Lastly, the Linwood Fire Department, the Linwood First Responders Association, and the Police Department with the village. As Chief Dempsey already mentioned, we're doing the Thanksgiving food drive. Food will be, the food is going to be picked up by people on November 19th. We'll also be doing a separate toy drive and food drive in December. We are accepting non-perishable items for the Thanksgiving food drive through November 15th, but we'll still be accepting more perishable items for Christmas. It's just it won't be going to Thanksgiving, whatever is donated. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Public Works Superintendent Campbell.
Madam Mayor, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources have approved the Village of Linwood's 2019 LMO2 form and AWWA water audit submittal. This is a report we have to do every year concerning the amount of water that we use in the Village of Linwood. This covers from October 2018 to September 2019. The 2020 LMO2 form and AWWA water audit submittal is also past due. The work is being put into this report together so we can have it all ready for the next start date. The days of November 8th and 9th is the last days for chipping and branch pickup. So if you had any branches that need to be taken away or any chipping need to be done, this was the last week for the year. Public Works employees are trimming the parks and weeds along the drainage ditch. Due to the rain and the weather, the grass is still growing. So we're trying to get everything pruned up so that we can go into the winter. When we come out of the winter, we don't have overgrown areas. The
Public Works employees, we're starting to put away our summer equipment, our lawnmowers, grass cutters, and items of that nature. And we're going to start equipping our salt trucks and our equipment for the upcoming winter months. So we're changing out equipment, and we're preparing for the upcoming season. The speed bumps were installed on 198th Street from Lake Park Drive to Lake Linwood Drive. They will be removed for the first week of December, weather permitting. This would help with the snow removal efforts. With the speed bumps being down, the snow plows have to go really slow to keep from causing any damage to the speed bump or to our vehicles. So we're going to take those out. And I received some feedback after we put the speed bumps in. So we're going to take that feedback and we're going to use it for relocation of the speed bumps when we put them back in the spring, because they are going back in the spring, and we got some good information that we can use to hopefully meet everyone's concerns. There was some concerns about, how close they were to certain intersections and so forth. So we're going to take all feedback. If there's any more feedback, please call Public Works. Give us your information so we can use that. So as we make this decision, it'll be an effort. It'll be a community effort, not just an office effort. And Madam Mayor, this concludes my report.
Thank you. Our finance director is not here, so there will be no finance report tonight. Village engineer, David Schiller.
Thank you, Mayor. Beginning tomorrow, J.J. Newell Concrete will start working on Crescent Avenue. They'll be saw cutting the concrete that's going to be removed. And the following day, they will start removing that concrete and forming it to, replace the curbs and sidewalks. And then probably next week, they'll do all the milling of the surface and get everything ready to pave. So it should be all paved, hopefully by the end of next week. That phase 2 of Wellington Court, all the bases in, the aggregate, the stone base. We're still remediating some of the bad spots, and that might be paved on Saturday, weather permitting. And lastly, I know there's already been a report on Dollar General, but you might not know, but the Village of Linwood actually has an ordinance that says any development, if there's not water and sewer across the frontage already, the developer is required to put that in. So I think beginning tomorrow, the contractor that's working on the Dollar General will start installing fresh water and sewer mains across that frontage. So we will be watching that. We don't typically watch, what they do on private property, but because those extensions will become property of the village when everything's done, we're going to be out there making sure everything's done correctly. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Boyle? Our clerk is not here tonight. There is one item that she has listed, which is just a reminder that the November 23rd board meeting has been canceled. I will move on to my report. I want to start by thanking this amazing team and the residents for last week's town hall meeting. It was well done, well attended. There was great information that was shared, and the feedback has been phenomenal. So you should all feel good about the work that you're doing here in the Village of Linwood, and you should feel good as residents as well. So thank you. I want to share with the residents that the YouTube link is now on the website, the Village of Linwood website. Thank you to Natalie Oliver and Edward Steve. You will now be able to watch the meetings. So as I shared in our town hall meeting, if you cannot attend, you can still watch, but you cannot say you were not informed, because we are living up to our commitment of making sure that we stay in communication and we provide multiple channels with you, or for you, I should say. I want to acknowledge David Schilling and Robinson Engineering on being named a top workplace by the Chicago Tribune. The Tribune's 2021 awards were announced last Thursday night and showcased the best places to work in the Chicago region. The award is based solely on feedback provided by employees in a survey from the Chicago Tribune. So it is exciting news for them, and it certainly makes us feel good to have you as our village engineer. So congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
Trustee Blake, you mentioned the banquet that we attended that was hosted by the Chicago Muslim Medical Alliance. I also wanted to share that they presented the village with a plaque that will be on display here at Village Hall. Our finance director, Kimberly Swittereth, is not with us tonight. Her mother passed away on Friday, and so we want to share with you. She is planning to return back to work this week, but if you see her, please be sure to offer your condolences. We also want to acknowledge the passing of Officer Brian Dorian's stepson. The board, along with myself, the clerk, and our administrative staff, along with the residents, mourn with both you and Kimberly, and you have our prayers and full support. So we love you. And last but not least, there's a very special guy who is retiring, and I have been giving him a hard time and telling him how jealous I am as he walks by me and says, 10 more shifts, 7 more shifts. Sergeant Shubert has been with the Linwood Police Department for 20 years. He has served this village well. I have a little bit of personal history with him in that he attended the academy with my husband, so I know him as Wall Street. I will let you all ask him why they call him Wall Street. But I shared at the town hall meeting, and I want to say again, I am forever grateful for all of the help and guidance and support that you offered me as I was running for this spot, and when I finally took the oath. I have no problems publicly saying that there are a lot of things that I would not have known, Chief or AC, had it not been for you stepping in and showing us some of the very basic things, in addition to some of the things that we should have known from a transition, and they just were not shared. So you are very near and dear to my heart. I will miss your quiet nature. I'm going to miss your countdowns now. But I certainly want to say that you have served us, and we are just thrilled that you get to move on to the next journey. The village of Linwood will not be the same. We hope that you do come back and visit us often. And I have a plaque that reads, "Congratulations on your retirement. This is presented to Sergeant Terrence Shubert in sincere appreciation for your 20 years of service with the Village of Linwood Police Department. We hope that you enjoy your well-deserved retirement." Ladies and gentlemen, let us acknowledge Sergeant Shubert.
Let's get your picture real quick. I know. There you go.
we have cake for you. So please stay after the meeting is adjourned and offer your well wishes to Sergeant Shubert and enjoy some cake. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Dunlap, is it supported? Supported. Supported by Marshall. Roll call, please.
Dees.
Yes.
Lilly.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming out tonight.